Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you. My name is Dallas, and how was I going to begin tonight? It's the last open mic that we're going to be having for the foreseeable future. They're going to be doing some renovations in this part of the library, so we've, unfortunately, we're going to be without a home for a little while. So
You took what I was going to say, Dallas. Speak a lot.
I'm just getting everybody warmed up for you.
Okay,
So.
prime minute.
Yeah, prime, exactly. Because once I fumble it so bad that when you come up, they're gonna be like, oh, she's got the information, she's got the. So when I first started doing open mics, I had a couple of main things I wanted to do. So tonight I was gonna stick to the two skills that I really wanted to work on, and so that was basically stand-up comedy, and the other is sort of. Discussions on how to be a student, because that's my pleasure in life. That's my favorite thing. And so I just to start off, trying to lighten your guys' evening a little bit. I had some not jokes that I've written, but just some funny ideas. And so I've never really written jokes before, so I never really got into that being a stand-up comedian. But as is evident by this, I had a better opening, but I can't remember. I promise you. Well, I think I'm really funny. So that's kind of where this comes from. And I've been sort of into clothes lately. I've been trying to up my style. I was kind of like a hand-me-down kind of person up until recently. I've been trying to improve my style. And I've been thinking about buying cool shirts. And how silly that is, because I never get to look at the cool shirts. It's always for other people. So I've been thinking about, I'm going to start buying cool shirts for other people. So that way I can kind of, like my friends and stuff, so I can kind of, that way I can enjoy them.
You can buy me a cool shirt.
All right, next open mic, I'm going to bring cool shirts for everybody.
Well, you went to Scotland, or that's just a shirt for you?
I went to Scotland, so yeah.
Isn't it great?
It is wonderful. I love it. Have you guys been?
I love Scotland.
It's beautiful. I've only been once, but I'd love to go back. But speaking of fashion, skinny jeans are all the rage today. If only I had a backup dancer, I think this routine would be killer. If only there. She said she would be my backup dancer earlier, but I guess I might put her on the spot. We didn't work out the routine, so I think that's what happened. But anyway, so fashion, yeah. I've been kind of buying new clothes and stuff, so people think that I've been getting into wearing skinny jeans. But it's not true. I've just gained a lot of weight. And so, skinny jeans are all the rage today, but I can't stand them.
I can't either. I second that.
See, that's what I'm
You can't pull
talking
them down far enough to fit in your there's a gap here.
Yeah, you're
And that's
restricted.
not
Yeah. But some people wear skinny jeans. I kind of understand, but there's some people, it's like some of them I just can't stand. And we're talking about on big guys. I don't understand it, because when I wear skinny jeans, I don't know if other big guys have this problem, but it's skinny guys, they're kind of svelte and taut and all this stuff. But big guys, we have a certain amount of activity that needs to happen, biochemical activity, if you know what I mean. And when we wear skinny jeans, it's that stuff's not coming out, and so that's my biggest problem with skinny jeans, but. All these things are problems, I think, with getting older. If I was younger, I think I could deal with it, more resilient. I could wear those skinny jeans and, tighten it up and not worry about it. But I was thinking about it the other day, and I realized the number one indicator that I'm getting older is that my biggest injuries are coming from my sleep. I'm waking up and I'm having a crick in my neck, which would happen, but now it usually goes away in an hour, and now it's 3 days later, I'm what did I fall down some stairs? No, I was just sleeping, By the time it gets better, then the next night it's my knee's killing me. I'm oh man, what the? So I think that is, maybe it's a diet deficiency or something like that.
No, you just need to do your exercises like yoga, and then there's just 8 you need to do. Those are the ones I do every day. They're easy, and they keep that.
I have a strict exercise regimen. I do 10 push-ups every month, whether I need it or not.
Every month.
Every month, I make sure I hit them. I mean, not all at once. Sometimes I like to spread them out because otherwise I get too sore. You know,
One
so,
a day.
yeah,
How about
one every
three?
3 days is usually what it comes out to. That's why I hate months that. Sorry, what?
And every third day you wake up and you wonder why you hurt.
Yeah, exactly. oh yeah, I did my push-up yesterday. Oh man, I gotta switch to half push-ups or something. I can't do in the full form. But yeah, speaking of health and exercise, that reminds me. I was just reading this study online, and something that I really love about modern society is that they go in, they do all these science, and they get all these studies, and you find out about all these things. And it's like I was reading this study the other day, and I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it turns out that vegetables are good for you. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing with science these days. I mean, have you guys noticed this, especially with the internet? They research all this stuff and they go, we spent 200,000 man hours, we interviewed 200,000 people, we go through this, and it turns out that you shouldn't watch so much television. You're like, oh, thanks, man, you guys really, oh, by the way, exercise is good for you. You're like, okay, yeah, this is a good study. I didn't realize that before, but now that I've read this study, I'm going to start eating vegetables, I'm going to watch less TV, and I'm going to exercise more.
Oh, you mean you don't walk every day or run?
We're starting with the push-ups, and I'm going to work out from there. I didn't want to go into it too fast because I was worried about my heart. I didn't want to do too much exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but society's changing, and speaking of which, as I'm getting older, speaking of getting older as well, I'm noticing that I have less opportunities to really feel free. It seems like when you're a kid, like everything makes you feel free. You go outside, you run around, you find a garden hose or a little butterfly, and you're like, oh man! But now it's like I've been there, done that, done everything, and so now I'm constantly looking for little opportunities to be free. And there's one that I especially love, and that's when I'm driving and the light turns yellow. And I don't mean that like the light turns yellow and then I get to punch it and drive through, because I don't do that and stop, right? But it's when I enter the intersection when the light's green and then the light turns yellow. And then I'm like, okay, I'm allowed to be here. I was already in the intersection, so when that happens, I slow down. I like really enjoy it. I'm like, this is my moment, all right? Nobody, I was allowed to be here. I'm just gonna let everybody see me. It's like, because when you enter the intersection, yellow, you're like, man, I hope there's no cops. And then when I enter green, it turns yellow, I'm like, let the cops see me. That's right. It was green when I crossed the line. I'm taking my time. And so that's where I find my freedom these days. But I mean, I say that all jokingly. I'm a pretty mellow person. I was thinking the other day, we had a fire here in town, and I was driving around, and I was like, man, it smells really good in town. And it turns out it's a fire. And I was thinking, if there was a forest fire, I'd be one of those cows that burned up next to the tree. Because I'd be walking along like, hey, it smells good out here. Is somebody barbecuing? It's so wonderful. Meanwhile, forest fires raging, foxes and squirrels are running by. I'd just be like, hey, man, this is really aromatic out today. I'm really enjoying it. And so, so thank you. That was my comedy for tonight. I didn't time it out, but I think that took a little bit longer. And so, I hope you guys enjoyed my jokes, and I will continue to work on that. And when we're back, I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna have it's gonna be these jokes, but funnier. I promise. So thank you guys very much for your time.